The car rocked beneath me, leather cool against my skin. Nick's breath was hot, uneven, his hands gripping my waist, pulling me closer. The windows fogged the Atlanta night, blurring outside, but we weren't alone, not really. Someone could see, might have seen, and that only made me want it more. The door slammed behind me, the night air sharp against my flush skin. My breath came fast, shallow, hands trembling as I hugged myself. I'd told him no firm, but he didn't listen. "Just once, baby, you might like it," he'd said, his grip too tight, breath too close, pushing where I didn't want him. Then his frustration when I shoved him off like I was the problem, like I'd ruined his night. My stomach twisted at the memory. I took a deep breath, smoothed my face, and pulled my phone from my purse. I wasn't staying in that house tonight. The ride was 2 minutes out. Fine. I needed airspace to clear my head before I did something I couldn't take back. Headlights cut through the dark, a sleek black car pulling to the curb. My pulse still pounded as I yanked the door open and slid inside. The door shut, the car idling a moment before rolling forward. I exhaled hard. Anywhere but here. The car moved, streetlights flickering across the windows. I let out a slow breath, arms crossed, frustration burning hot in my chest. Asterisk, rough night. The voice was deep, smooth, pulling me from my haze. I barely glanced up, then caught his eyes in the rearview mirror. Nick. Years had passed, but I knew that face stronger now, sharper. He'd had a quiet crush on me in high school, always watching, never acting. I'd known, but I'd wanted someone else. Now, here he was, driving me out of my mess in the dead of night. He remembered me. His eyes flicked to mine in the mirror. I leaned back, arms still crossed. "Oh, I remember you." His grip tightened on the wheel. "Yeah, you never gave me the time of day back then." I smiled faintly. "You never tried." He chuckled low. "Knew it wouldn't matter. You had your eyes on someone else." I didn't answer. The silence stretched, thickening the air. For the first time that night, my frustration wasn't just about my husband. It was about me, my choices, what I wanted and hadn't let myself have. My eyes drifted to Nick, the way his voice was deeper now, the flex of his hands on the wheel, the way he didn't sneak glances but stared. I inhaled slowly, shifting in my seat, the leather cool against my thighs. "I need some air," I whispered. He raised a brow. "Pull over," I nodded. The turn signal clicked, and we stopped in a dark lot, the street stretching empty ahead. In the distance, a car idled under a flickering streetlight. Not alone, not entirely. I hesitated just a second, feeling the weight of the risk. Then I leaned forward, elbows on the center console, close enough to catch the faint spice of his cologne. "I never said I didn't care," I murmured. "You just never tried." His jaw tightened, fingers flexing on the wheel. The air shifted, charged, alive. He didn't speak, just gripped the wheel knuckles tight, then let out a low laugh. "So you think I should have tried harder?" I traced a slow line on the leather seat. "Maybe." He chuckled, shaking his head. "Crazy. You acted like I didn't exist." I tilted my head, meeting his eyes. "That's not true." Skepticism flickered across his face. I bit my lip, frustration turning sharp, deliberate. If my husband wanted to cross lines, why shouldn't I? I stretched slowly, shifting just enough to make sure he noticed. "If you'd tried back then, what would you have done?" His grip tightened, eyes hungry. "Want to hear my high school fantasies?" I grinned. Why not? I could use a distraction. He exhaled, tongue grazing his teeth, chest rising heavier. "I'd have pulled you somewhere quiet," he said, voice lower now. "Away from everyone. Just you." I raised a brow. "That's tame." His eyes flicked to me, darker. "That's just where I'd start." Heat coiled low in my stomach, not just his words, but the way he said them, the way he pictured it. I leaned back, crossing my legs slowly, his eyes catching the movement for a split second before meeting mine. "What's stopping you now?" I asked, voice soft, steady. He clenched his jaw. "Your trouble." The air thickened, the dark street stretching ahead. I leaned closer, my breath warm against his ear. "Pull over." His hands gripped the wheel. "Say please." My lips curved. "Please." The turn signal clicked, the car slowing. The street was quiet, but not empty. I didn't think, didn't stop, didn't hesitate. I moved, climbing over the console, settling onto his lap, feeling his warmth through his clothes. My knees pressed into the seat, the windows dim but not hidden. A streetlight flickered in the distance, casting faint light across the dashboard. Somewhere out there, a car engine hummed, someone waiting, maybe watching. Nick froze beneath me, his breath caught between a gasp and a groan. His hands hovered at my waist, unsure, waiting for permission. I leaned down, lips brushing his ear. "You wanted this back then, didn't you?" His fingers twitched. "Yeah," he said, voice rough. "Still do." That was all I needed. I kissed him slow at first, teasing his lips, warm, eager, parting under mine as his restraint crumbled. His hands found my hips, pulling me closer tight until I felt how much he wanted me. The night stayed quiet, but not empty. Each touch from Nick sent shivers through me, not just him, but the place, the risk. The car felt smaller, the air thick with heat, with the weight of everything unsaid. Every shift of my body sparked fire, the friction unbearable, building fast. Nick groaned, hands gripping the seat behind him. I smirked. "Cramped back here, huh?" A shadow moved outside. Was it my imagination? A shape stretched under the streetlight, gone as fast as it came. I didn't care. He exhaled hard as I slid off his lap, moving to the back seat, leaning against the leather, hooking a finger toward him. "Come on." He followed, no hesitation, settling between my legs, his hands on my thighs, body pressing into mine. I knew nothing could stop this. I tugged at his shirt, feeling the muscle beneath the tension coiled tight. His lips traced my collarbone, my pulse racing under his touch. The car rocked lightly, a reminder we weren't invisible. Nick grinned against my skin. "Like this, huh?" His voice was rough. I didn't answer, didn't need to. The windows fogged the air, thick with muffled gasps and moans filling the space. It was reckless, dangerous, and I'd never felt more alive. His hands gripped my thighs, pulling me closer, pressing me into the cool leather. His body was hot, enveloping, making my breath catch. No hesitation now. His lips found mine again, rougher, hungrier. I felt his restraint snap as his hands roamed, exploring, demanding. My fingers tangled in his hair, pulling him deeper, tasting the fire that had burned between us since I stepped into his car. The world outside didn't exist, or maybe it did, and that made it better. The tight space pressed us together, our bodies locked in a desperate rhythm. The contrast of his warmth and the cold leather sent shivers down my spine. His hands slid lower, gripping my hips, fingers curling as he moved me exactly where he wanted. I gasped, head tipping back, as his lips found the hollow of my throat. Each kiss, each graze of teeth sending needs spiraling through me. Then a sound outside, a car passing. Nick froze for half a second, breath heavy against my skin. I grinned. "Don't stop." He groaned low and rough, gripping me tighter, moving with urgency. "Wanted this forever," he whispered, voice raw with desire. A thrill shot through me, my nails dragged down his back. "Take it," I whispered. "Take it all." His hands tightened, almost possessive, his touch confident, demanding. I arched into him, feeling every inch of him pressed against me, our bodies fitting like we'd done this before, like we were meant to. The car rocked as we moved together, the heat building fast, dizzying. A distant light from the street reminded me how exposed we were, my pulse spiking. Nick felt it too. "Feels too damn good," he breathed against my skin, voice wrecked. His fingers dug into my hips, driven by the risk. I moaned, the pressure coiling tighter, the friction unbearable. Every move pushed me higher, sharper. The thought of being caught, of someone passing too close, sent another jolt through me, making my body arch, craving more. Nick groaned, forehead pressed to mine, his movements desperate. "You feel so good," he muttered, breath ragged, his words spiking my pleasure. It hit hard, sudden, crashing through me in waves. My body tensed, fingers digging into his skin as everything shattered. Nick followed, seconds later, gripping me tight, his body trembling against mine, breath breaking into uneven gasps. For a long moment we didn't move, bodies tangled, pulses racing. Somewhere in the distance, a car door slammed, a reminder the world still existed outside. I exhaled, fingers still resting on the back of his neck, feeling his heartbeat pound. The windows were fogged, the air thick with sweat and satisfaction. Nick let out a rough chuckle, running a hand over his face before meeting my eyes. "Didn't expect that when you got in," he whispered. I smiled, lazy, stretching against the seat, still feeling the ache between my thighs. "No," I admitted, catching my breath, "but I'm not complaining." He exhaled, shaking his head, fingers still light on my waist. The night was still outside the car, quiet, except for our uneven breaths, still carrying the heat of what we'd done. I smoothed my dress, but it didn't change how Nick's hands had claimed me, how I'd needed it. His fingers tapped the wheel, his eyes unreadable but heavy with something unspoken. "Heading home." His voice was calm, but the tension still simmered, thick, undeniable. I glanced out the window, the dark Atlanta street stretching ahead. Home to my husband, to pretending I wasn't angry, pretending I hadn't let another man take me in ways he never could. I wasn't going back. I turned to Nick, lips curving. "Take me to your place. Some temptations can't be resisted. Some risks make the moment unforgettable. Would you stop, or let the thrill take over like I did?" Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. You won't want to miss what's next. Thanks for watching.